Hey everybody, welcome to Shifty's Club. Guys, yesterday, you guys kind of know what that video was about. Now, one person doesn't seem to believe me, so I'm gonna break the rules and actually show my computer screen. Let me close this webcam right quick. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it this way, because I gotta see exactly what this looks like. Just 1 second. Okay, wow. This looks pretty darn weird, but you guys should be able to see that. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, I don't know if you guys can see up here where it says $80 balance. This is from the $100 yesterday. Let me get kind of in there. $80 balance, and that was from the $100 that they gave me for free. I'm not going to show you the email they sent me saying we're going to allow you to play, just don't overdo it. Basically, I won't be withdrawing this anytime soon. It's just kind of for fun. Of course, I don't really need money, at least right now, anyway. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and slide this to this side so I can at least tell exactly what we're looking at. Okay, so basically what we're looking at is Boise State, Virginia, and Stanford, Oregon State are the games tonight in football. Now, unfortunately, there's no hockey going on. Otherwise, that'd probably be my favorite. I'm going to kind of slide this down so you guys can kind of sort of see. Anyway, so basically we have is Boise State is favored -1.5 against Virginia, and Stanford's favored -14 over Oregon State. Now, from what I'm looking at, both of these teams are favored on the road. However, there is a little kick to this. Boise State is one of those teams that generally does not lose on its home turf, and Stanford's one of those teams that can train roll whenever teams make mistakes. Oregon State is not known for its turnovers. Oregon State is moreover known for their lack of defense. I've watched one game this year. Oregon State played. Same thing with Boise State. I don't really see much that's going to happen between Boise State, Virginia. It should be a pretty close game. There shouldn't be many points scored. Stanford's defense is pretty much gonna stop Oregon State. Stanford should be able to steamroll. That's why you don't see over here. You see no over and under over here because, like I said before, Oregon State isn't expected to score hardly any points. Usually you could say Stanford would score 21, 28 points, and they would score some around 7 or 14. Of course, if it was 28 and 14, why, of course, that would be 42 being close enough to this right here. So that's basically where you get the over and under. They're expecting a 4-score, 2-score game, and over and under can opt for field goals and stuff. But these people that generally make this, they usually suck at this. However, when I look here, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock game, I will be watching both of these. Anyway, let's get on this part. Of course, you guys know I'm just doing this whole thing for fun. They give me $100 to play around with. I'm not really going to withdraw any of it unless they force me to. But I'm just gonna play around with it a little. They said not to get too out of hand with it, but little they know, no, I don't plan on withdrawing any of this money. But anyway, what I'm looking at is Boise State -1.5. This is an almost guarantee. Virginia does not do too well out of conference against top 25 teams, and I'm not sure if Boise State still is top 25, but nonetheless, they should still be. Boise State is a very good team. They're a up-tempo offense. have some really good linebacker and secondary core. Virginia's got a nice little running game going. Not too much. Stanford, on the other hand, has got one of the strongest defenses I've seen. Oregon State's got no defense, and pretty much their best player is a punter, if you ask me. Um, and then, let's see. Let me get this over here. And it's basically straight bet, parlay. Then you have the reverse bets and teasers. Teasers are usually my thing. That's usually what I do. But since they gave me free money, I'm pretty much just gonna play around with this. Not gonna get too into this, but because we're on YouTube and you guys want to see what it was like in the past for me, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a pick out of one of these 10 right here and one of these 6 right here, and I'm going to parlay them. And this parlay right here is basically going to parlay is going to up the ante basically. The amount of money that I'd originally win on either one of them is pretty much going to be more. For example, if I chose Boise State minus 110, that would yield me $100 if I bet 110. If I bet 100, it'd yield me $90.90. Or it could be 90.91. I don't know how they round the system in this this one. However, you also have Stanford, Oregon State. Now this one is a little weirder because they give Stanford a minus 105. They're basically saying we expect Stanford to draw at 14. They expect it to be a push where neither side wins, and thus the minus 105 make it look a little bit better. Oregon State could possibly do something, but I really don't see Oregon State, stepping up that right there. However, these two look good. Boise State and Stanford, they do look pretty good. If you were to parlay this, like this would be win $100 off a bet of 105. And then you have things like this where Stanford is sorry about that, guys. Where Stanford is a minus 550 if they go straight up. Boise State seems to be in somewhat of a neutralist in this game, and that's really not what I'm looking for. And obviously Stanford, Oregon State, people would be like, okay, Stanford over, Oregon State under if you were to split it like they do, basically. 24 and 23, that's absolutely redonkulous. They're looking for an over under 49, which is weird because that should be over 49. Boise State has an up-tempo offense. Virginia has a good running game, like I said before. And this should work to both of their advantages, getting over 49 points combined. So I'm going to choose the over 49. Now, in the Stanford-Oregon State game, and I've already done the research on which teams to do, what teams do what in situations. I've watched prior games to see their strengths and weaknesses. And then Stanford, Oregon State. Now, this one is kind of weird because I watched Stanford beat USC. I've watched Oregon State take some tough losses. But of course, in the end, Stanford looks to be a promising team. Not saying that my bets are always going to be correct because they're not. I've just never lost straight bets. I've never lost more than 3 in a row before in my life. So, but anyway, the two that look the most promising is the Stanford over 44.5 for total points. And the reason why is because Oregon State lacks in defensive efficiency. And Stanford has a pretty good defense that can stop Oregon State. Now, the only problem here is, can Oregon State score enough points on Stanford to make this work? Now, Oregon could be a toss-up because Oregon State does have potential to score some points. However, Stanford's defense is nothing to play around with, and that's that's coming from my mouth. So you can pretty much take that to the bank. The most safe route here would be minus 550 with Stanford. Of course, there is only one problem here, that this amount right here is not really what you would want to put on a game to actually yield money. Stanford is moreover going to win this on the road. This is pretty much a given one right here. So what we're looking for is anything that we could use right here. Now, because Stanford has a great defense, the problem is, will Oregon State find some kind of tempo or run some kind of trick plays, get any type of momentum going to beat Stanford? My answer is probably not, and that's why I'm going with Stanford minus 14. Now, I'm going over the assumption that Stanford is going to win by more than 14 points. While this should happen, I'm not going to say that I'm always right because I'm not. You guys seen last night, I pretty much just went with what I thought was pretty much guaranteed, and it was Memphis scoring 52 points. It's a lot more than 38, but that's because I've watched them before. They're high tempo. And while I haven't watched much of them this year, I did watch the game last night, and I did find it uniquely interesting, especially with getting half of those points in the first half, and I knew from that point it was pretty much going to be over for Cincinnati. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to take this right here, the minus 14 with Stanford, which is a minus 105, and an over for total points in the game at 49 and a minus 107. So what this is going to do is parlay. Now, I don't know if you guys know what a parlay is, but anyway, here's basically, I'm going to put the camera back on so I can make sure that I'm looking over the right side. Anyway, let's get this down. Okay, I clicked on this parlay in Robin. Obviously, you have these, but I'm not gonna do them. I'm just gonna move this so we can see this. Anyway, we have Boise State versus Virginia. We're gonna take the over on that game for total points 49. Stanford versus Oregon State. We're gonna take Stanford minus 14, which is a minus 105. Now, if I risk, let's go. Let's see what 50 would do to us. Now, if I were to do 50, let's see. I'm not exactly sure what their system is because I haven't used it in a while. And what I want to kind of get to is, just want to see how much it would actually do here. Okay, wow, that's pretty good. Total risk is $50 to win 138.61. So basically, we're looking at plus 260 plus 250. Basically, combining these, this is going to give us a pretty hefty amount. So a lot of you would probably love $138 in spending cash, even though I probably won't even touch this money. This should be pretty solid. Let's go back. I wanna change it. Let's see. I don't want to do too much, Just want to show you guys what it's like. Okay, that's pretty good. I want to get close to about 100 so you guys can see what it's like to win like $100. Given that this does happen, which I do see it happening. Now, normally, see what time it is. I want to show you guys what time it is. 2:25. Eastern time for me. Um, and I just woke up at like after 12, so um, anyway, I would not be doing this right now. Usually I'd be doing this at 7:50, 7:55, you know, if it was my money, because then Mafia really has no way of, you know, jinxing the game based on my bet. But in other news, it's pretty much not going to be anything worse. Anyway, we have Boise State versus Virginia. We're going to go over 49. Stanford versus Oregon State. Stanford's going to win by more than 14. So we're looking for this game to be somewhere. What I'm thinking is Boise State's going to be somewhere around 40-something points, and Virginia's going to get somewhere around 20 to 30. It's going to be a 60, 70-point game. That one, I believe, is going to happen like I believe. This one is a toss-up. However, I do have enough faith in my by vision, seeing that Oregon State really has no defense, and versus the teams that they played, Stanford's going to be even harder to beat because their defense is just so amazing. So this should pretty much happen. So we're just going to go 2-game parlay, risk 40 to win 110.89, and we're going to confirm the bet. I'll put that back on. Okay, so ticket number accepted. Okie doke. So that, fellows, is how you do it on Bet Online. And now I'll have a $40 balance, and of course a pinning wager of $40. Jeez Louise, what is the light on this thing? It sucks so bad. There we go. Anyway, I'm gonna turn it back around. Uh-oh. Get back. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know, guys. I didn't make up my bed. I just woke up and made this video after eating breakfast, of course. I don't really make my bed. I mean, I'm just gonna jump right back in it. The end of the day, floors are spotless. You know, everything else is clean. As you can see, I love cleaning. But anyway, that's pretty much betonline.ag. They kicked me off a while back, and now I'm accepted back with a free $100 wager. And as long as I don't, you know, do anything stupid, you know, it's okay. You know, not putting 7-8 game parlays where I win plus 1250, which I put 100 down to win 1250 in one bet, and do it on like do it at 3 different casinos, you know. But anyway, this is, I wouldn't go online and start doing this just because I do it, guys, because again, there is a term called gambling. Of course, this isn't my money, so I'm not really too worried about that. I'm just going to try to use it and kind of sort of show you guys as I go along. Yes, I am going to be play testing a little more this afternoon, and if I can come to some conclusions in Pokemon, I will post them, guys. Now, so far, I've got Lugia EX as the as a front runner tech, and Lugia EX is absolutely amazing. It's just absolute dominant colorless type. It just fits into almost any deck. The head deck right now seems to be Rayquaza, and for obvious reasons. Headlock deck seems to be Mega Gengar Trevenant. Head power deck seems to be Mega Groudon and Wobbuffet, like always. You know, things haven't really changed in this. I thought it was going to be a whole new format, but only some of the trainers, a few of the deck concepts have changed, but for the most part, most of the good decks that we've had are just going to keep sticking around. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Post any comments in the comment section down below. As long as they're related to the video, whatnot. If you have any questions not related, just shoot me an email. It'll be fine. And thank you guys for watching. I should have a video up either tonight, tomorrow, or the next day. I have no idea. Just whenever I get through testing. So I'm gonna go let you guys go. I'll see you guys next time at Shifty's Club.